All right, so I'm so excited to have this guest today. Most of the viewers probably know him as the winner of 2009's Eurovision, but he's with us today with a new title. Our viewers might not know he is now a master of film studies. Just recently graduated. Welcome, Alexander Rybak.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is a little bit. It's a kind of a new release out of the ordinary. Kind of. It's not like a new single or anything. It's just that now I have a degree.
Yeah. And what made you kind of go down that route? You had some film experience before doing animated voice tracks in Norway, and you were even in the Fire Saga movie. You had a cameo there, so it's not totally out of the realm of possibility to see you in this position. But what was that moment where you decided, like, I'm gonna go move my life to the United States and start this new path for myself? What was that decision like for you?
Well, it wasn't anything overnight. I've always been fond of storytelling. So, when you're an artist, like it's a limit of how many songs I can write about heartbreak or, like being happy or whatever. It's very easy that the music will start just being about me. While when it's movie music, I can just make it be about like everybody else.
And so how was that as a change for you to maybe not be writing music that was personal into something that was really incredibly commercial, another person's vision? What's that challenge like for you?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, so far I haven't had much experience yet, apart from the school, of course, which is like the biggest experience. But I mean, like out of released projects, I just have 3 short films, and they have been very like steep learning curve. But I feel very lucky because I always met with directors who are curious about music, who are curious about working together with finding something fitting for the screen. And it's a cool blend of like being in the service business. It's like a good military school for me, being in a service business, but also work together with people.
Yeah, absolutely. And so how was it? Obviously, you have a lot of experience working with international groups. You had done Eurovision multiple times. You were on Melody Festival a few times as a kind of a guest. You did some kind of skits that were kind of funny. I don't understand Swedish, but I could tell they were funny.
It was very funny. Of course it was. It was Swedish.
But so now you came to the United States. So had you been to the United States before? And what was it like for you? Like, did you have a culture shock? And did you like Chicago? Can you talk a little bit about that transition?
Well, I've actually had several concerts in the States before. And also, this is my favorite country for being a tourist.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm 95% happy that I'm not famous here, because now I can just take it easy. I can enjoy the country. I can learn. Like, I can study without being studied. That's not something I can say for most countries in Europe. And the culture shock, it's not a shock. It's more like a culture revelation, especially like the sticking together part, the hard work is appreciated here. Dreaming big is appreciated here as long as you work hard for it. Mm-hmm. And also like working together, that's something I learned here, because I've done a lot of performances together with other people, but that's just been it's just been my manager telling them my radar, and and then I just came to the set and we had a cup of coffee together, and that's it. But I mean, like, deeper communication, deeper collaboration, like working for months together, that's what I dream of. I saw the Disney Plus the Beatles the documentary,
Mhm.
Get Back. Get Back.
Okay.
That was the
Yeah.
documentary, and I was so inspired to see how they work together. Of course, obviously, you don't need to work with movies to find other musicians to work together with, but it's just I don't know. It's just a blend of getting the craft, so knowing how to export files and knowing how to mix. Actually, we learned how to in the school. I'm jumping a little bit back and forth, but in the school we learned how to build a synthesizers from scratch. Like how,
Wow.
yeah, now I know like how 10 voltages equals 1 octave, etc. It's like it's crazy. But yeah, so it's a blend of always wanted to learn the craft so that I can be a producer as well for other artists, but also like them being a part of a family, working on a movie. That's also been something I always wanted to do. So
And so without your family and other people like that you're close to with you in the United States, were you able to, kind of make friends? Like you said, you didn't have the celebrity aspect to really worry about. So did you get to build some community? I know you started during virtual, but you did end up
yes,
in person
exactly.
eventually.
Well, we were a very small class. We were just 14 people.
Wow. Okay, that's
Yeah,
small.
yeah. I'm very lucky to be a part of the school. It's ranked number 2 in the whole world, and we were just we were just 14 out of I think like 800 applicants. So
Wow.
I'm very 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 happy. But we became a very nice like small big family.
Oh, that's really wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
And
And of
so,
course, and also I feel I've been lucky in California, in Los Angeles. Just people are very curious about everyone here. So I'm getting cards, business cards everywhere, and I guess I should make my own business cards. Although I feel that's so old fashioned, but that's how they work here.
yeah, I mean, I guess it never hurts to have one. You kind of be like in the movies, even, when someone
Yeah,
flicks the business card.
yeah.
And I had seen on your Instagram, it looked like maybe you did a road trip from Chicago to LA. Is that right?
Oh, thank you for following that. Yeah. So I just packed. So most of my students either they went with their wives and then they did the U-Haul thing,
Mm-hmm.
or they sent like or they flew to Los Angeles and sent their stuff over with like a courier. But I just bought an no, I didn't buy. I rented an SUV and I just stuffed everything I had. I actually I invited a girl for the trip, and she couldn't come because of some paperwork stuff. I was very sad, but then when I saw like how little space I had in that car, I was thinking, well, maybe it was for the best because like my passenger all the time was a pair of speakers and
Very
like
nice.
a lot of bags. That was like in the passenger seat, not to speak of the cargo, which was just I just had like one little window so that I could see in the mirror behind me.
And so, how was that journey for you? Which states did you travel through? Obviously, you went through Nevada because you had posted in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
so first it was Ohio, Iowa, Nebraska,
Okay.
and I was amazed like how fast the climate changed because in Europe you would need to travel, like 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
and it will gradually go from the Swiss Alps to I don't know some desert or something like that. But here it was like flat, 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 Nebraska, 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 and suddenly you just see mountains, and it's so steep, and suddenly you like go like a spiral in the mountains, and it was snowing. It was snowing 30 minutes later. It was just flat and super hot, and then 30 minutes later, I was like, it was winter again.
Oh, wow. You really had like a classic road trip then. I'm so
Yes.
happy for you.
That's what I live for, the road trips, moving, seeing things. And you could look at all this like the whole movie film scoring experience is also a little bit like a road trip, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because movies themselves kind of are a journey.
Oh yeah.
On their own.
But my dream is to find directors, or even better, the directors find me. But I know I'm not in that position yet. But I hope to find directors, producers for, like indie movies where they have maybe like not the biggest budgets, but where they have some space for rich melodies, because that's what all my professors tell me. That's my weapon. I've also learned like how to do moods, like just that one note that goes in and out, but it's not the most interesting thing to do. So I always liked the more like John Williams approach.
So do you have a plan then? You had mentioned before we started recording that you do want to go back to Norway. Do you want to get into the Norwegian film industry, or do you want to kind of stay international?
I mean, because now I'm hoping to find a music studio that I can buy in Los Angeles, and also something similar in Norway. So I just like working. I just like working on music every day. And now that everything is very, office based, not because of COVID, but actually just because of this business. Musicians, they write music in their own little cavern.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna, I will definitely try my luck both in Norway and in Hollywood. But I feel in Norway, I already have all the contacts I need. So I feel ready to start sending, auditions and tapes. And like my realistic goal is to have big movies released in 5 to 10 years. I think that will pay off the whole journey. No, actually, even if I don't get any jobs after this has been a wonderful journey. But I just feel, after getting all A's, I just feel I'm very confident that I will be the right fit for somebody.
Well, certainly whenever the score comes out done by Alexander Rybak, I will be first in line at the box office to see that movie, because I'll know that the director's made at least one good choice in hiring you on.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Renata. No, I just a bit sad that the Eurovision movie got released before I started scoring. But otherwise, I would just knock on their door and beg them to get me on board.
So did you have any moments then, because I was kind of, imagining, letting my mind run wild, like of Alexander Rybak coming to Chicago and meeting his classmates and them saying, and, saying that like you had been in Eurovision, and them saying, what's that? And like, oh, well, they're like, oh, that Fire Saga movie. And then you just being like, yes, well, I happen to be in that Fire Saga movie. Did you have any moments like that?
Where a lot of them were like, they knew me from either YouTube or TikTok. I've been too lucky with this whole TikTok thing. I just started it just for fun, and then it just exploded. But yeah, many of them recognize me from the Saga thing.
Yeah, that's so funny. But in the time that you were in school, I was really surprised that you came out with a single. You released Memories. Which is a really beautiful song. It seemed a little bit more, a more mature version of your music, a little bit more romantic. Like Fairytale is very fun and playful and like childish romance, but this felt like a much more matured romance. And I wondered if you could talk a little bit about like your inspiration for the song and the production for the song, and like how that fit in with your studies. Did you just like have to record it, or was it and
it was just the same thing as with my Christmas song that I released half a year ago, which is called Hold Me. Both of them were like, they were stories I wanted to tell, and also mixed with all my experience I got with like how to make every sound as crispy as possible, like how to make instruments stand out better. most of what we learned in the movie school, film music, I can apply to the songs as well. So I think I can have that. I think I can create some unique stuff, like because now I not only do I come from two different worlds with classical music and pop, now I also like know the more like a storytelling type of music. So now I think I can create a lot of things, and I don't want to disappoint the fans that think that are hoping that I'm getting more mature, but that's just a phase.
Sure.
I think I will get childish pretty soon again.
Well, I'm sure we'd love to see that too. Absolutely. But even in the video was beautiful. It really captured a mood. It matched the music so well. And we saw something new from you, which is playing guitar. Had you been a guitar player previously? Because as far as I recall, I've only ever seen you play the fiddle. Is that a new development for you?
Yeah, I think I will, because I see how limited we get when we are so used to having everything on the computer, all the sounds, like you push buttons and there are drums and guitars and whatever. But I want to like learn the craft. I think once I get that music studio I'm talking about, I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully I'll get it. I will, I will have a drum room. I will have a recording room for not only violin, but guitar and drum and piano. I will probably become one of those weird musicians that have like 200 instruments.
That sounds lovely. I don't think it sounds weird. It sounds great to me. The more the merrier.
Yeah, and of course a couple of guest rooms so that I can invite my mom and dad.
Yeah, that's definitely necessary.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really. So it's important to have something to look forward to. Now I look forward to coming back to Norway eventually and seeing all my friends. That's one thing. And the second thing is inviting my mom and dad over here and like showing them my new world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, overall, like the overarching thing is to like keep telling my fans how grateful I am, and doing movie music. I think maybe there's more chance that my first project will be a video game, actually, and not only because we learned doing music for movies, for TV shows, and for video games, like how to implement them, like building code into the video game so that we can do everything ourselves. It's really been military, but it's been fun.
That's fascinating. I wouldn't have even considered that, but wow. I'm not a video game player, but again, I'd love to hear whatever you came up with for whatever video game. That just sounds so cool. Good luck. I hope that happens for you, because
Thank you.
video games are a huge type of media. That's a great way to reach people. Whether or not they know you, you're still reaching them. And I imagine that must be important, right?
That's the most important thing. I mean, one of the best things about not being famous sometimes is that you can be discovered, like not discovered by the big producers, but I mean like discovered by the audience. What I look most forward to here in Los Angeles is to find small clubs, venues like hotels where I can just join a jazz band for 2 or 3 songs and just steal the show. That's
the audience won't realize how lucky they are. Oh my gosh.
That's my humble little dream. And yeah, I'm sure I will get to know somebody who can do some jamming with me sooner or later.
I think you can make that happen for sure.
Thank you. Sure. It means a lot.
And so just to finish up, I did have some questions about you being a person in the audience. And how did you feel about Eurovision this year?
I think it's becoming scaringly good. It's really like talking about serious is becoming very serious, in a good way. It's just the craftsmanship is so good, like it's so thorough. There were no, like, I didn't find any fillers this year that I usually find.
Yeah.
Like everyone was just really fighting for the big title. And although I don't feel like we didn't get like an iconic act like last year, but that it's like with Måneskin, that's something like that happens once in a decade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly once in a decade.
Yeah. Well, and I had seen you had done a version of Stefania, which was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And there was even there was a fiddler, and I think they were like #1 in the televote. Moldova had someone on the violin and accordion with Sobshi's Dub, and they did great too. So I'm like happy to see that the love for the violin has not faltered at all.
Oh no, at all. And it was there. It was there all the time. Also before I joined, I just feel the folk music is something that will always be strong, and I just think this year was one of the most charming entries ever.
Yeah.
It was so cool. It reminded me of the grandmothers from 2012 or 13. I don't know, 12. 11 maybe, I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's somewhere around there though.
Yeah, when Loreen won, like
yeah,
I remember I remember how happy I was for those grandmothers, and I got the same feeling with it. Was just like very Slavic happiness.
Yeah.
I know they didn't sing about happiness, but just those chords, those like 2-5-1 progressions, though, they always evoke happiness with me. So I was very happy they won this year.
Yeah. And did you happen to watch the American Song Contest at all?
I watched the first episode, and I think they're onto something.
So then the next question is, do you think that you would enter an American Song Contest? Because I bet some people would love to see that happen.
I'm afraid it would be a gimmick. I don't know. I would, if I find the right song that is only right for American Song Contest, then first of all I will ask if they like. First of all, I will ask immigration if that's allowed. And then we'll see. But I think there's more chances that I will return a third time in Eurovision.
Oh, okay. For Norway.
Of course.
Yes.
A third time and a fourth. If not in Eurovision, then at least in the Norwegian selection. And then it's always up to the audience, right? But
yeah.
I just feel, it's the Norwegian selection is actually just as magical as the Eurovision itself.
Yeah, I agree completely. I love national final season, and Norway's Melody Grand Prix always delivers.
Yes. I think my favorite year though is 2010. Maybe it's because I was so caught up in the whole hype then, but I just remember like 90% of all of those melodies. I just feel they had very strong melodies with Wenche Knudsen and A1 and the metal band. They just had, for me, that was like the best year of Norwegian Eurovision.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and one of the great things with the contest going on as long as it has is it's just this incredible history of music to go back to and fall in love with all over again. It's
like being I just feel like now that I get older, it's like being an actor. Like I have something recorded that people will always remember me by, and it's just very nice. It feels like that's an immortal thing.
Yeah. Well, we certainly love all the memories we have of you in the contest, and we are waiting to make more memories. And honestly, wishing you the best. You have so many options to move forward. And congratulations again on your latest achievement.
By the way, thank you. I told my friend yesterday, because he asked like, what is the, like, outside of career plans, what am I really hoping for? And I told him that for once it would be nice to have such a open schedule, like for many months, just almost like get bored because then I would be so happy when somebody calls me, like, because I've been such a shitty friend many times, because especially when people who have supported me and now they need my help, and I said, well, sorry, I have to pack because tomorrow I'm going to this and that, and I just want to be bored, non-stressed, and available.
Oh, okay. I think that's achievable. I think that's achievable.
I think I will have a little, like a week or maybe month or maybe some years. No, I don't know. I'm kidding. But a couple of months of that boredom would be the best ever.
Yeah. I was with so many things in life. It really just comes down to balance.
Yeah.
You need the balance of the personal time and the business time, and that creates a full life. So.
But by the way, one last thing about American Eurovision. Because I was watching the Eurovision from the States, so it was with Johnny Weir.
Yeah.
And I just loved him. I think he was the best TV personality I've ever known. I honestly didn't know at the time he was this amazing figure skater. To me, he was just like the coolest person ever. So I sent him a message, and obviously suddenly I realized, well, whoa, he sent me messages before. It was just in a time where I didn't read direct messages.
Sure.
So I feel that will be my, that was like, I don't remember the last time I was starstruck.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. That is an awesome story.
So I look forward to meet him.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I hope you make some TikToks with him. Make sure we can see. The magic will happen.
He's amazing. You're amazing too. Thank you so much for your interest.
Yeah, thank you for speaking with me. Honestly, it was so wonderful to speak with you. Like, I hope I was hiding how starstruck I was, because honestly, like when I got into Eurovision, it was around 2009, 2010. So you were like the man at that moment. So like, this is like, honestly, it was a crazy moment for me. So like, this was super special. I'll never forget it. So
I appreciate it.